Hey, what is up, Internet? Welcome to the Grad Troyan YouTube channel with another rocker reaction. This one per request, like most videos on this channel. So if there's something you want me to react to, just, comment below. It's super easy. And then it is my job to keep track of them, which I'm sure I'm doing a terrible job at. But anyway, I am reacting to Vektor, Recharging the Void, per request. I have not heard a single song from this band. This is from a concept album. The concept album is Terminal Redux. I just read plot synopses for the album, read the lyrics, went through an analysis of the lyrics before this because I was told that in order to really appreciate this, I should really have the context of the story and the narrative that's going on. Um, I it was very much skimming because I wanted to still I want to just get the gist of it. And what it seems to be about takes place in the future. Obviously, Rush fans, concept albums, space, sci-fi, Cygnus. And the protagonist seems to be a character who gradually becomes a dictator and creates a really oppressive, terrible government and discovers the secrets to immortality. And in his quest, he realizes that he has ultimately created a terrible dystopian society and people have lost the essence of freedom and what it means to be human. So ultimately, he sacrifices himself to build a new, better government and a better future. Pretty interesting concept. And I haven't listened to anything from this band. The description said technical thrash metal, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not super excited about. I'm mainly about composition, and so if you put technical in your name, it makes me a little bit nervous that you're going to be more about showing how many notes you can play rather than, how good the notes you're playing are. And I don't listen to much modern metal because I really hate the sound of the modern kick drums. Just not a fan. Um, but the concept is interesting. But by that same token, Gojira's concept album From Mars to Sirius had a really interesting lyrical concept, and I did not like it musically at all. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I like some thrash metal, more like old school 80s stuff. Let's see how this does for me. So, giving it a shot. First time listen, haven't listened to anything from the band. All I did was read up on the lyrical idea of the album. This is the closing track, and it looks like it is 13 minutes and 36 seconds. So, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so it's important that I try to go in with an open mind and not judge something too harshly because of preconceived notions about the genre. Um, Despite me liking some thrash quite a bit, there's a lot of thrash that I don't like. And so, if I have to say if I'm a thrash fan or not, I'm going to lean no. I don't like Slayer. I think Anthrax has some very good songs, but the catalog overall isn't one of my favorite bands. But good stuff with Anthrax. Love Megadeth. Um, Only recently coming around on Metallica. For many, many years, didn't like them at all. Became friends with some dudes whose favorite band is Metallica, and so then learned to appreciate it. And actually, ironically, through watching reaction videos, I found out what people liked about Metallica because for me, it still wasn't clicking. Um, I'm overall not a fan of what the what the drums just did. Kind of Slayer-esque. We're just like, all right, let's just hit them as fast as we can. Um, that doesn't really do it for me, and it looks like we're going to get some very growly, not melodic vocals. I like melodic vocals. I like melody. Vocal melody, typically in rock and metal music, is the part of the music I like the most. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get that. And this is 13 minutes long, so maybe it'll get better. Maybe this is it's once again a random song from the album. Maybe it's the big epic climax, so that's why it's crazy. Who knows? Okay, so I don't know if this is for me. This was suggested to me because I liked concept albums. Um, the narrative of the album is generally interesting, but I'm a little bit burnt out on how bleak metal concept albums are. Because it's always like, the world is terrible. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. You've done the world is terrible concept album a number of times. I get it. Um, and the characters are often not very interesting. They're always sort of blank characters that are meant to be audience inserts in a number of ways. The protagonist in this album does seem to be interesting. So this album does have that going for it. Um, so I'll give it that. Um, but yeah, the vocals kind of killing it for me. But the guitar playing in that last section was actually very good, and the way that it interplayed with the drums. Something that really sort of became a big trend after Metallica, became big was instead of the drums doing their own thing, the drums following the riffs became sort of like the common way for metal bands and thrash bands to do, which just like do the exact rhythm as the guitar, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. It really depends on the song. But I think too many metal bands became just follow the rhythm of the guitars with the drums all the time and just have that exact same rhythm, as opposed to like, here is a beat that complements the rhythm but isn't just like the exact same thing and just everyone hitting the exact same thing at the exact same time the entire song. Um, this is, utilizing that technique of hitting the drums at the exact same spots the guitar is hitting in a good way for certain parts of it. Some parts of it are a little bit much, but some parts of it are working well. The guitar tone is good, and the drums, in terms of tone, aren't as annoying as modern metal typically is for me. So, you know, mixed feelings on this. Let's see, how long do we have to go? All right, we have only like 12 minutes left. Okay. All right, yeah, let's keep it going. Yeah, that section that I just got into, I can't deal with that. I'm it's not for me. I just I'm for me, I view it as compositionally lazy and predictable, and not entertaining enough to justify it. Like I admit there's some songs where I just know the songwriter was lazy and like pooped it out, and I still like it because it has entertainment value and things that I like. So I would maybe compare it to, you have like action movies and horror movies where I know that there's sort of similar amount of craft in each, and I love action movies and I hate horror movies. With horror movies, I just find them to be a lot of them to be like gore fests and not really offering anything substantial to say, and I don't like the victimization of the genre. And then action movies, I enjoy the spectacle more. I enjoy the explosions, and I enjoy the hero fantasy of just good guys going out there kicking ass. And that's not to say there aren't some amazing horror movies and some trash action movies I don't want to watch. Nightmare on Elm Street, for example, the first one. I haven't seen the rest of them. Is a great film, and I'm sure there's some trash action movies that I'm just not thinking of because why would I watch them again? They're trash. But in terms of this, like a lazy Kiss song, at least usually has like a fun melody and a really good hook I can latch onto, and that's just what I like musically. I just don't like this kind of drumming. I just don't like this kind of vocal. It's not for me. I'm not able to, like, the lyrics become unintelligible. There's not a melody to latch onto, and it just makes me think to myself, why didn't you just sing this part? Um, and part of it is the ego saying like, oh, it's because they don't have the ability to sing. But obviously these guys have their fans. They have, what? This has 163,000 views on YouTube, just this video. I mean, the biggest video of my band is what, maybe 12, 13,000. So, and obviously there's something that people appreciate here that strikes a chord and resonates. It's just, for me personally, this doesn't resonate with me. If this was a book, I'm still not sure how I would feel about it because typically I'm less about world building and more about like how good the character is. This character does seem to be at least pretty engaging though. But yeah, let's get back to it. Follow me to a day, to rain, fire, regret. We have fought a world spinning out of control. We've lived the end of years, and now we hear our calling. We found the job, withers falling, falling. I must return to a day, to release our clutch, to the old redux. Pausing throughout for copyright purposes. I wonder how much more I would like this song if the vocals were sung. I would probably like this significantly more. So that is just a hard stopping point for me. And the way that like I'm not into a lot of rap music because I find it to have lack of melody. That's kind of what my issue is here. And yeah, I did just compare this to rap music because they're sort of the same sort of fundamental issues in that there's not necessarily a vocal melody I can latch onto. There's some great rap music where the vocal has great dynamics and tone and clever lyrics that you can latch onto. So like DMX has great dynamics in his tone and a great flow. Will Smith, you know what? He's got some fun stuff. But this, yeah, I don't know. It's not moving me the way the Wild Wild West theme song does. Okay, but that instrumental section, that was very good. That was very good. Obviously, these guys have great technical chops. And composition-wise, aside from me not liking the vocals and not liking when the drums just go crazy, and when I say crazy, when it's doing like the Slayer-esque, just like everyone just play as fast as you can, not going crazy as in like, oh, we're going to do this intricate drum part that matches the rhythm of the guitars that's Rush-esque. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just when it gets into full Slayer Cannibal Corpse mode. Not into that. Not into the vocals. But otherwise, this does seem to be compositionally pretty competent, probably compositionally strong, I would say. So, yeah, it does have that going for it. So despite some things that are not my personal preference, I'm able to recognize what they're doing here and what they're doing well. yeah, like that was the great thrash rhythms in that last section, and then cool harmonies, and it looks like we're about to get a killer lead. So yeah, awesome. Looks like we're about to get into another section. I just wanted to stop and say that I appreciate the drummer overall. I think that he is ultimately making the right choices for this material for most of the song. I really don't agree with the the Slayer-esque moments in the song, the Slayer Cannibal Corpseisms. But overall, despite not being my cup of tea drumming wise, he or she is doing a great job. The guitars are very competent, well done. Um, and it looks like we're about to move into a new section, with prog and the more technical metal. That's a good welcome change of pace. So let's see where it goes. Yeah, I'm enjoying this instrumental section. So a lot of people who know me know I'm not super into like double kick or blast beats and just modern metal drumming, but it's working for me in this section. So yeah, good job, keep it up. Good lead. Once again, yeah, good lead playing, not into the vocals. Remember, this is rocker reactions, not metalhead reactions. I'm a rock guy. I'm not a metal guy. I like some metal. I love some metal, but old school stuff. Priest, Maiden, and yes, I am under 50, so I'm only 30. So it's not just the nostalgia factor, just a lot of the stuff that came out when I was growing up just wasn't into. But yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, great soloing, good stuff. this part is a nice, pleasant surprise. Alright, hold on. I'm actually really impressed with this section. And not just because he's singing, but because he's not doing very predictable metal melodies under this section. So often, metal bands, when they do the clean vocals, the scales and melodies they use are very predictable. This isn't what I thought I was going to get here. This is Pink Floyd-esque and is awesome. Yeah, very cool. Even with the female backing vocals, nice.
Our story be told to young beckoning yearning ones who are struggling to be as one. We are the lights from a dying sun.
Yeah, this section is great. Thumbs up. Sounds like a nice build is happening here. Oh man, this part is cool, but I know it's going to lead to something less cool. Although it's still good at this point. Building to a climax. It makes sense it would have to go back to that because I think that's, I don't know the band, but it seems like that's sort of their established rocking metal sound is to have the growls. So you have the soft section, which was very good, and oh man, is my metal cred not very good? I'm like, yeah, the soft section was the best part of the metal song. But, I knew this would kind of have to be where it goes. But you know what? I was sincerely shocked by how much I liked that middle section. So, yeah, I get back to it. Daddy liked this section. Yeah, alright, I like where this is going. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to turn to Star Castle, but I'm all about that noise. Yes, would be proud. Sure, why not? Go bad on this. So it's sort of weird there, where it's like a major chord progression, but then it feels like they're just hitting the wrong note to make it just sound uncomfortable. I wonder if this is the reprise of the first song that I heard that this song does in this one, according to me reading the Genius site. Um, but it's still cool. Yeah, it's still cool. Good section right here. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this. I was a fan of what was happening right before this. Yeah, I'm good. Move on to the next section, guys. Backing vocals sound good. I think that might be keys in the background. So everything is good in this section except the vocals, which are just unintelligible. Which for a concept album, I view as a flaw. And just before people at me, the reason I don't have the lyrics pulled up because it's just boring for me to read lyrics in videos. I mean, I guess I can start doing that if you guys really want. I read the lyrics beforehand and skimmed the thesis of the song, which I described at the beginning of the video. And I feel like this is, once again, I haven't heard the rest of the album. This is my reaction to this song first time. It does seem like it is building an appropriate climax, so even if there's musical decisions I don't like, it does seem like it is accomplishing its goal, so it does have that going for it. Really good backing vocal part. Yeah, good riff. Oh man, the annoying part is that you can hear the backing vocals sing the melody underneath. I look, I get it. That's not what fans of this genre like. They like those growly vocals. I just don't. I don't mind grit on vocals. I think they can add a lot to a song, but I think just when it's just that, I think there's too much. It's like nutmeg. You have a little bit in your eggnog and it's delicious. You have too much, it'll kill you. This is kind of killing the song for me. Although this note right here is cool. That's a good ending note. Ooh, and then some outer space sound effects, because it's outer space. All right, well, yeah, that was Vektor recharging the void off of Terminal Redux. Um, it was better than I expected. Because when I read the description of the band and saw when it came out, I'm like, oh boy, one of these, huh? And then the vocals came in, and some of the drum parts came in. I'm like, oh, okay, one of these, huh? But there were enough good parts throughout the song that surprised me, and sincerely, that middle section was excellent and was really shocking. And I can see why this would be one of the bigger bands out there now if they're willing to experiment like that. Clearly, they care about arrangement. There are just artistic choices that they make that I just don't like or agree with. But obviously, they have their fans. They're signed to a label. And this album seems to be well regarded by people. It was requested. So I think there's enough positives in there. It just maybe isn't for me. I am willing to listen to this entire album. When I get some time. It's just when I get the time, I will hopefully check out the entire album, see if more of it does it for me. But this was an unbiased reaction, first time listen. If I'm going to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, I would say a thumbs up uh, objectively, but a thumbs down for me personally. I think objectively, it's good, and if you like metal, this is good. If you have issues with the things I do, like for me personally, it's not a playlist. It's not something I'm going to necessarily revisit aside from checking out the entire album to see if it works more for me then. But it's a personal thumbs down, but an objective thumbs up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure because it's not just praise for the song. There's going to be some heated debate. But let me know what you want me to react to next. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me in this very long reaction. I hope you all have a good one. And yeah, try to be positive, be honest but positive. And hope you all have a good one. Peace.